So today, we're just talking about all the various things that you're gonna need in order to make for a great party. Oh, not a real party, of course. Who do you think I am? This is obviously the things you're gonna need to make a great Mario Party game, of course. And one of the best things in any Mario Party game are the minigames. I recently made a video where I talked about the 10 worst Mario Party minigames that I don't want to see in Mario Party Superstars. So I thought, why not do an opposite video of that where I talk about my top 10 favorite Mario Party minigames that I do want to see in Mario Party Superstars. And that's the story behind this video. There you have it. And that's the introduction I'm going with. Okay, let's start this ranking. Number 10, let's go. So the Penguin Bobsled Race from Mario Party 2. It's an absolute classic minigame, but how about we take that concept and make it just a bit more extreme, let's say. Then we get Bobsled Battle from Mario Party 10. You're still in a bobsled this time, but now it's less about racing and more about trying to get more coins than your opponent. And the winner is now determined by who has the most coins. So really, this game is about trying to push your opponents out of the way so you can just grab all the lines of coins. Which I like. It makes it feel more competitive this way, since it encourages you to bump into your opponents. There's even other obstacles that you have to avoid, like these bombs that make you lose coins when hitting them. So then the other half of this game becomes trying to bump the other team into the bombs, which just makes it even more hectic. And yes, you may hear some screams of rage when you knock your friends into them. Or, well, ex-friends now, after you do it. This minigame just becomes a very interesting strategic game of trying to cut off the other team's path while managing to steal all of the coins for yourself. Goombas are Mario's tried and true enemy, the pawns of his rival Bowser. But even though they're just minions or workers or whatever their role is supposed to be in the Mario universe, did you know they actually run their very own hotel? And it's known as Hotel Goomba from Mario Party 5. In this game, 4 players race through the various floors of a hotel to try and make it to the top. And each floor here is a different puzzle of sorts that have to be solved in the fastest time. Think of those rock puzzles in Zelda or Pokemon games. But instead of rocks this time, you just punch these Goombas out of the way because they're kind of dumb. I don't know how they run this place. It's just a cool concept though, because not only do you have to think of a solution in the quickest time to beat out the other 3 opponents, you also have to consider which solution would use the least amount of moves, since it takes a decent amount of time to hit one Goomba. Overall, this minigame just forces you to actually think and plan ahead. Plus, the concept of Goombas relaxing in a hotel is just too funny to not include on this list. So Nintendo and first-person shooters have never really worked well together, but this next Mario Party minigame might just be the closest thing we'll ever see to one. But if you can't shoot from guns, what are you gonna shoot with? This is Camera Shy from Mario Party DS. In this minigame, 4 players run around in this small arena, all from a first-person perspective, of course. And the goal here is just to take pictures of your opponents without them taking pictures of you. And whoever takes a photo of each of the other players first wins. Yes, it's literally the concept of shooting people in a first-person shooter arena, but now we're talking about camera shooting. And it's a lot of fun. It reminds me of those small Call of Duty maps where you'd 1v1 someone on Rust in Modern Warfare 2. Yes, the aiming is heavily simplified, but it works better because of it, since you're controlling this with the DS D-pad. But you can't just take pictures blindly all over the place. You'll have to first aim and make sure the subject is in focus, which is shown by these squares turning green. Honestly, this is a pretty unique minigame from Mario Party. I don't think I've ever seen a Mario Party game from this perspective, and they use this style in a very fun way. You ever just look at someone on the street and think, man, what's wrong with that guy's face? Well, maybe his face is so messed up because he partook in the minigame Facelift from Mario Party 2. This one is a total classic here. I mean, with a title like that, what do you expect? You just lift some faces. Well, kinda. It starts with you seeing a face that looks pretty normal, then it gets distorted and all messed up, just like real facelifts. Then you try to make that same face with the face that you're given. It's like making a work of art. Okay, when I put it like that, it does sound kinda weird, I'll give you that, but it's actually a really fun minigame. Your skills of approximating how something should look is tested here as you stretch and warp all these different face parts. And you do have a decent amount of time, so once you finish the main part, you always have time to fiddle around with your masterpiece. And it can get tense here. Are you second guessing how accurate yours is? Do the other faces look more accurate to you? Does the nose look right? That is all for you to decide. Well, I guess it's for the judges to decide too when you're all scored at the end, but still, Facelift was always an exciting game. So we've looked at some mini games that are pretty weird at this point, games that you would never expect Mario to be a part of. So now I think we should bring it home and go back to Mario's roots, a mini game that is a 2D platformer. This is Lift Leapers from Mario Party 6. It is a free-for-all race through a 2D platforming level. And yes, there is a bunch of lifts that you must jump between. Think of it as the Mario Party version of Fall Guys before Fall Guys even existed. But you each get your own obstacle course here, so no one gets in your way. I mean, yeah, I guess it seems kind of simple, but overall, it's just a fun platforming gauntlet with very responsive controls. And it's literally, probably, the only Mario Party minigame where there is absolutely zero luck involved. There's no players in your way, and no random elements, so it can be a nice change of pace when playing some of the more, luck-based games. Plus, there's some cool homages to other Mario games, like this pipe section here, referencing the original Mario Brothers on arcade. This game is a true competitive test of everyone's platforming skills, and it perfectly fits in a Mario game. Alright, this next game here is basically a snowball fight with a Mario Party twist to it. It's actually a really fun game from Mario Party 3 called Snowball Summit. First of all, you're on a mountain, so we're not playing any games here, okay? This is extreme snowball fighting. And because of this, if you get launched far enough, you'll fly right off the mountain. And basically, everyone has to make a snowball that continues to get bigger. Then you can either roll it at someone, or just bump into them to launch your opponents. And the bigger your snowball is, the further they will go. But here's where the game gets strategic. You can use your snowball as a shield of sorts to block the other snowballs and cause the other players to have to remake their whole snow creation. So you basically have to find a way to hit the other players in the back while also not exposing your back. Honestly, a lot of depth in it for just a little Mario Party game. Plus, just look at this atmosphere. I love it in this minigame. It's snowing, you got the northern lights in this background, and there's even 2D shooting stars flying across. Jeez, who needs a PS5 when you got visuals like these on the N64? Well, I need a PS5 still, so get them back in stock already. Okay, so that minigame we just looked at was pretty chilly, to be honest. A lot of snow and snowballs being thrown around there. So now it's time to do the absolute opposite of that and heat up with this next minigame. This is Hexagon Heat from Mario Party 2. Or there's like the mushroom version of it from Mario Party 1. But come on, this one has lava that you fall into instead of water. That's way more intense. It's a super simple concept for a game, but a very effective one. This toad just holds up a flag with a color, and you all have to quickly run to the platform with that color because every other platform will fall shortly after. The game may start out pretty chill and simple, but you will be given less and less time to make it to the platform as the game ramps up and gets more intense. Combine that with having to avoid jumping on your opponents since you'll likely bounce off their heads and fly right off, and the final moments of this game become super nerve-wracking. I always like these 4-player free-for-all survival type games in Mario Party, and Hexagon Heat just has all the elements for a fun take of that style. So co-op minigames in Mario Party can kind of be hit or miss for me. I mean, really, who wants to work with other people? But this next minigame we're talking about is easily the best co-op minigame ever. Dungeon Duos from Mario Party 4. Why hasn't this game come back or even been remade in any sort of way? There's literally so much to this game and it is so creatively designed. It's a 2 vs 2 game where you have to go back and forth to perform certain tasks that will help your other teammate. It starts with you opening some doors, then you have to rotate a platform for the other player to stand on, then the single version of that, followed by a few sets of trying to guess the right pipe, and finally finishing with a button mashing part to blow up a balloon, resulting in victory. You can tell there was a lot of thought put into this minigame, and I like how it covers so many concepts of Mario Party in just one game. A frantic test of teamwork at the start, then a total luck-based section near the end, and a test of button mashing to finish. Really, it rewards the all-around good Mario Party players. Plus, it creates a lot of frantic scenarios when trying to work together to move these platforms. Dungeon Duos is the complete package for a minigame, and it blends so many different challenges perfectly together. So the next minigame here is all about reading books. Wait, before you click off the video, trust me, once you see this minigame, you won't hate reading anymore. Well, no guarantees with that one, but still, this is a great minigame. This is the minigame Book Squirm from Mario Party 4. Jeez, I never thought I'd actually like books this much, but hey, here we are. It's a survival game where 4 players have to survive the onslaught of, book pages here. And you do this by frantically running to the holes in the pages. It actually takes a lot of skill in this game, since you first need to have a sharp eye to determine which holes are real and which are merely pictures. And then you just have to sprint to all the safe zones. But at the same time, your opponents can push you right out of the safe areas as the page is falling, which is just really fun that you can do that. And it adds a lot more of the craziness found in Mario Party. The pages also keep flipping faster and faster the longer the game goes on, making it so it becomes inevitable that someone is squished. However, even with all those pages, the width of the book never seems to increase at all in size. Well, Mario Party logic. And suddenly, there was penguins. Lots and lots of penguins. Pushy penguins to be more specific. All these penguins here are on a literal mission to make it to the water on the left of the screen. They charge right at it without stopping at all costs. But you happen to be in the way of their path and have to avoid them or else you'll get dragged into the water too. All you gotta do is survive the penguin horde, but it's a lot easier said than done. They can form in really weird patterns, and there's even these giant penguins as well that you have to watch out for. But this is just my favorite minigame because of the absolute tense moments and the chaos that it brings. You can be so close to dying at the very edge of the cliff and then escape in the last second back to safety. Or the opposite can happen where you suddenly get pushed all the way back in just seconds. The outcome of this game is never really expected, and it has a great balance of luck and skill to it, which makes for a total cluster of a game. And that is the perfect formula to create a Mario Party minigame. So what did we learn today? If you want a great party, you gotta bring the penguins. That is all.